One of the original members of Ripple, 𝗙𝗶, recently posted on when he believes XRP will take off. I want to discuss exactly what he stated in his timeline for XRP's enormous price increase in this video, because, folks, it's probably going to happen a lot sooner than most people think. As always, this channel really appreciates your support. We appreciate everyone who takes the time to subscribe to the channel and like these videos. I greatly benefit from these two easy things. Additionally, be sure to check out my 𝗙𝗏 below in the video's description if you know of a reliable source for purchasing XRP. Having stated that, let's get started. I hope the content is enjoyable to you everyone. I want to begin this video by sharing some quite intriguing news that, to be honest, I didn't anticipate seeing. And it has to do with something that, to be honest, has been anticipated for a long time. Something that we didn't anticipate, but that appears to have sort of just happened. Therefore, consider this, whatever that may imply. We recently had Intermex by Western Union outright in an all-cash transaction earlier today. If you've been in the XRP community for a while, you'll know that there has been a lot of conjecture over Western Union moving to ODL and utilizing XRP, which is what makes this so intriguing. Even if that never really happened, Intermex uses XRP for cross-border payments and is an ODL user. It appears that Western Union will most likely use XRP for cross-border payments using Ripple's ODL service in one form or another. This just struck me as being incredibly intriguing because there has been a lot of conjecture about whether or not the Western Union will embrace anything similar to XRP, and it appears that they will. The main takeaway from this is that Intermex uses ODL, and regardless of their past size or other factors, one of my tenets is that the players who are prepared to embrace new technologies and upgrade to more potent solutions will ultimately prevail. Additionally, here is a fantastic illustration of a business that has implemented Ripple. With the additional funds, Ripple's ODL service can now buy out rivals and expand the network effect. More people are now using XRP for cross-border payments worldwide and becoming ODL users. Although we haven't seen it yet, I have a strong suspicion that Western Union will eventually switch to using Ripple's ODL services, delivering better, faster, and less expensive technology that addresses a basic issue leads to its natural adoption. Those who choose not to use it are left behind and will eventually either have to adapt or fall behind. That, in my opinion, is basically what we are witnessing at the moment. For someone like me who has watched this kind of speculation go on indefinitely, it's hilarious to see Western Union effectively acquire ODL and turn into an ODL user. Wasn't anticipated. Although it wasn't what I had anticipated, it was still really fascinating to witness. Having said that, I want to go right to the video's primary topic, which is 𝗙𝗶 discussing his predictions for the future of XRP. For those of you who are unaware, 𝗙𝗶 was among the first people to join Ripple and has consistently supported XRP. 𝗙𝗶 is one of the guys that had the idea for XRP and the XRP blockchain before the majority of us ever knew what XRP or Ripple was. So whenever he speaks up, I always think it's crucial that we listen. He obviously has a lot of really sophisticated notions about how this entire sector will develop, and because he has been here the whole time, he has seen a lot more than the great majority of us will ever see, because I believe it portrays a very intriguing picture and something that is highly bullish for XRP. I would want to share this chat he had with another former user earlier today. So, when does XRP fly, 𝗙𝗶, and realize your vision and hopes from years ago? This person said. Then 𝗙𝗶 responded. The application for a banking license by ROD and Ripple is essential to creating new value, he stated. The lawsuit's final resolution was crucial to making that process go more smoothly. For the upcoming 12 months, I am really optimistic. He continues by stating, when you start to see Ripple talking about banking licenses and stablecoin creation in non-US countries, it will quickly become clear how the plan comes together. This additional person entered and stated, Ripple will develop into a global bank with banking licenses in the majority of major nations, stable or OUSD coins in the majority of major currencies, and everything is operated through the XRPLS. A global neobank. I believe you understand, although it's a little broken there. Yes, almost spot on, he replies. 𝗙𝗶 is correct when he says that Ripple's banking applications are LU, and our LUSD will effectively turn the company into a worldwide NEO bank. He continues by saying, existing banks are being too cautious to bank XRP ledger-based firms, which is why Ripple needs to become a bank. The difficulties of legal cannabis firms to locate banking is comparable to this issue. The user continues by asking who will be Ripple's primary clients for the XRP ledger services once this ambitious plan comes to fruition if banks are opposed to banking XRP ledger companies and are too opposed to Ripple turning into a bank. Banks are still in operation. It's a really fascinating point. He's stating, look, is Ripple simply stealing customers if they're going to grow into a big bank? Right. If they're applying for this banking license, if they have our OUSD, and if they're tokenizing all these assets? Is Ripple turning into a bank? Will the XRP ledger be used by Ripple to replace all of these players? 𝗙𝗶𝗆 contributes what is maybe the most significant aspect of this whole situation. Banks are just middlemen collecting fees, he claims. In actual firms, the customers are the ones that create all value and own all the money. Therefore, banks are essentially just a vital component of the system that all of these actual businesses require in order to function, according to him. The bank serves only as a gateway for clients to transfer funds into and out of the XRP ledger. The remainder of the global banking system is completely circumvented by the XRP ledger. Coinbase Bitstamp and Western Union MoneyGram are two well-known instances of MSBS. Although none of them are banks, they all use banks. They all hold fiat money for their clients, and they frequently move fiat money from one client to another. Let's divide Coinbase, for instance, into two primary customer functions. Coinbase is a fiat on and off ramp. It is the process by which you enter and exit the banking system. A centralized exchange for converting money to XRP is offered by Coinbase. Therefore, Coinbase receives dollars and converts them to cryptocurrency. Why doesn't Coinbase have a million competitors? The financing required to perform the on and off capability is unavailable to potential rivals. Thus, Coinbase is the leading platform for newcomers to the Bitcoin space. Since the XRP ledger already includes a built-in DEX, it simply requires the on and off ramp feature. Thus, this is the most crucial aspect. Therefore, every new company can simply fulfill the on and off ramp function by using Ripple as their bank. I realize that was a lot, but since it's so crucial, let's break it down here. According to 𝗙𝗶𝗆, the main reason the XRP ledger hasn't been able to gain widespread acceptance for a long time is that, in essence, it hasn't had access to liquidity because banks haven't been interested in implementing blockchain technology as quickly as many of us would like. In essence, moving funds into and out of the XRP ledger has proven extremely challenging. In essence, you must go to a bank and ask them to assist you in adding funds to the XRP ledger. But you need that bank in order to accomplish it. Banks are highly legacy-minded and don't fully